first, how did TAGDIDIT? How did you get that name?
So prior to, mind you, I just changed my Instagram name this year. I came up with that name last year because before my Instagram name was Touched by Tag, and that was my styling name. And I was like, you know, Touched by Tag could have been so many different venues. It could have been so many different things. But I kindly noticed it was solely focused on my styling. And so I was like, what can I do that even if I did go back to styling, or even anything that I did do, what can I do that could just make that brand a whole thing?
Hey, hold on. Marketing 101.
Marketing 101, literally. That's the PR in me. Literally. That's the PR in me. So I was like, what can I do to like make the brand just the whole thing as a whole? And I was like, Touched by Tag. And I literally sat there for like a few days and I was like, it came to me, it was just like TAGDIDIT, boom. And literally, you know, when I first came out Chasing Atlanta, boom was like my thing. And that's
I was just going to say,
boom. Boom. Like everybody started calling me the boom. So I was like, you know what? That just goes perfect. TAGDIDIT, comma, boom. And so like I just changed my Instagram name to TAGDIDIT. And I was like, you know, Talk Live Tuesdays with TAGDIDIT. Hosting the red carpet, just know that TAGDIDIT. Hosting a party, just know that TAGDIDIT. So it's just like, it just came with everything that I was doing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just make this. I'm solely going to rebrand, and this is going to be what I'm going to rebrand as, and that's what I'm going to stick with. So whenever you see me, it could be at a party, I could be on the mic, it can be at a red carpet, I could be on the mic, it can be at Johneri'O's interview, and I'm sitting here talking to him, but just know that when I leave, he going to know that TAGDIDIT.
Oh, boom!
Boom!
Boom! What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Let's Talk with Johneri'O Scott, Season 2, y'all. Season 2. And today I have my special guest, Troy, a.k.a. TAGDIDIT.
Period.
Listen, what's up, Troy?
What's up, Johneri'O? How you doing? What's going on?
I've been trying to get this in the making for a little minute. You know, I first met Troy. He actually reached out to me for, y'all know I do HIV advocacy. And he is, of course, on Chasing Atlanta, and they were shooting, and he was having an event. I was like, yo, you know, would you come do some education? I was like, sure. So that was the beginning of our relationship, right. And now we're here. We're here. So Troy, busy man.
Very busy. Very busy.
Listen, so I always like to ask my guests when we get started, like who they are, because we know how social media can portray people.
Right.
Or, you know, we want to put certain things on social media. But
right.
Who's Troy?
Well, Troy is an outgoing only child. I'm the only child. So I think that's really like where my passion things come from, because it's like I'm the only person that really as far as in my household that has to, you know, step it up. Right. But I am the generation, so right. I have to be the next generation for my family, for my mom, my dad, for myself. So but I'm just, you know, an entrepreneur here living in Atlanta. I feel that since I moved here, it's just been something that has uplifted me and helped me grow as a person. I'm normally this shy, laid back kind of guy, but listen, since I got on Chasing Atlanta helped me like really bring myself out. Really? Because I never being flamboyant, and not necessarily flamboyant, but just showing that personality side of me. I was always scared because I was afraid of what people would say and how people would judge me, and then feel like, well, I wouldn't be able to get this job or be around these certain people if I wasn't myself. But it's like I was robbing myself of those opportunities by not being myself. So it's like that helped me become the person I am now. So, you know, but first I was Troy, but now I'm TAGDIDIT. Boom.
Bam! Listen, where you from?
I'm from Lake City, Florida.
Oh, okay. So you with the sun, the beaches.
Well, no, I ain't even in no beach. I'm very small town, very outside of Jacksonville. It's like 45 minutes from Jacksonville. It's literally in the middle. Like you have to pass through Lake City to get through anywhere in Florida. They call it what they call it? They call it the gateway to Florida, because you have to pass through my county to get to anywhere in Florida. But however, it's a very small town. It's 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out.
Oh shoot! Yeah, so, shout out to the small of the cities.
Right, small city with a big city mindset.
Yo, and I like that because, like you said, being on Chasing Atlanta, entrepreneur,
right?
Media personality,
yes, definitely.
Like you have it. So coming to Atlanta, it was something new. But how was that transition for you?
The transition for me was difficult because being that I am the only child, I had to leave my parents behind. I had to, you know, really find that courage to jump and leave out the state of Florida and actually have the mindset to do something different. So my best friend, I called my best friend maybe like, I graduated college in April of 2017. Maybe around June, I texted my best friend and was like, hey, I want to move to Atlanta, you know, next year. He said, well, I could probably do it in April next year. He was like, because I really want to, he said, I kind of had planned on moving there too. I said, well, no, I'm trying to move as early as next year. Like, I'm trying to go like ASAP. Like, I'm trying to be out of here by the beginning of next year. And so maybe by like August, he called me and was like, you know, yeah, we can move out January. Like he was like, my boss said I could transfer my job up there. I said, okay, cool. By this time, I had started work with another company, and I had been doing so well with the company. My boss at the time said, well, hey, I know you said you want to move to Atlanta. I'll move you to Atlanta. You just gotta, you know, right?
Yo.
So he was like, you know, I'll move you to Atlanta, and I said, okay, well, I gotta find an apartment and stuff, and I'll let you know how that go. By November, me and my best friend had came up to Atlanta and found an apartment. On my way back, I got discouraged because literally my tire blew out on the highway coming back.
The devil will try you now.
The devil will try you, but I said, you know what? I'm still gonna have the faith, keep positive, whatever. So January 26, 2018, we literally packed the little stuff we had, put it in my little Sentra, and we drove to Atlanta. And we literally I had $500 in my pocket. He had $500 in his account. When we got here, we didn't know we had to end up paying like more fees for our apartment. So by the time we paid the rest of the fees for the apartment, we both had like $100 in our pocket. I didn't start back working until 2 weeks later. He went back to work that following Monday. Literally, we probably was at like Kroger's and Aldi buying like the big packs of big chicken breasts and chicken wings for like $5 to get us by for the next few weeks so that we can actually have food to eat. And so since then, I was just like, you know what? When I got here, I know what I came to do, and you know that's what really like, you know. But that's what got me to move to Atlanta. But I was very nervous to get here.
So when did the fashion come about?
Well, fashion came about when I was in college. One summer, like my friend, he did makeup. I had another friend that did hair, and I was like, well, dang. What I'm gonna do? Like, I'm like, well, what can I do? What can I do? And I knew that I loved fashion, like being in public relations, which is what I got my degree in. I was like, you know, well, I write my stories on fashion. I write my stories on the stories, like, you know, the latest fashion shows or what's going on currently in trends. So I was like, well, what's a job that I can get into that is in fashion? I ended up looking up what a personal stylist was, and it suited for me at the time because it was like, I'm a very personal person. I love to be able to connect with people, talk to people, and I felt like that was a job for me. So during that time, I started styling, and then that was around 2015, 2016. I took a class with celebrity stylist Sean Meltzer here in Atlanta, which made me originally want to move to Atlanta. And so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna go intern with her, and all my stores have a store. I didn't have the money at the time, but I went to the financial aid building, and I was like, hey, y'all got any extra grants out there that y'all can give out, whatever? And the lady was like, you know what? We actually got a $1,300 grant that we're giving out to first generation college students, which I was the only person because my mom and my dad didn't go to school. So that was like, you're a first generation college student, we have $1,300 grant that we just been sitting here. She said, it'll be in your account by next week. I took that $1,300, I paid the $600 for the class. I used the rest of that money to get to Atlanta in my same car. I used that money to get to Atlanta, came to Atlanta, took the class. She was my mentor for a while. I had interned with her doing Gucci, Monica, like a lot of people like that. So I was like, you know what? That's what I came to Atlanta with, was fashion, but like my whole mindset changed after, like I said, once I got on Chasing the Reality, and we'll get to talk about that, I'm sure. But that's where fashion came about in school, because I started styling technically, so FAMU, you are a socialite. If you know somebody that knows somebody at FAMU, when you're in those positions like Miss FAMU or you're in SGA or something like that, those are like the celebrities of the school. Or if you are in a sorority, aka camp, whatever case may have you, those are like the most popular people, of course. So like when you're networking and with them, I've styled people that are AKAs. I styled Miss FAMU for her campaign and during her reign that year. I styled a lot of people for pageants and all that. So it's like, that's what made me say, okay, well, fashion is what you're going to take with you to Atlanta. You don't know what else is going to come out of it, but that's what I came to Atlanta with.
Listen, yo, fashion guru, reality web series star, media personality, talk show host, just everything. Everything.
You gotta have second income to be a millionaire, and that's what I'm on my way to. Definitely.
So going back to fashion, I like, being here in Atlanta, everyone think that they have fashion, they have style, but what's the difference between fashion and style?
So fashion, I think, is just the trends and things that you see when it comes to the big designers, and even just like when you're in certain stores, like when you go to Forever 21 or like stores like that, you may see during the winter time or the fall time they got furs and stuff like that, so they feel like that's what's out. Of course, that's what's in style, that's what's in trend, but I mean that's what's during fashion in that moment, that's the trend. But then style is like pretty much your personality, because people will look at somebody on Instagram like Jada and Ari because they work for Shane Justin and be like, oh, I want to dress just like that. That's not style. That's just their fashion. That's that clothing. That's that brand. That's what they look like. But in order to have your own style, you have to be able to get that same dress and wear it your own way. So if they wore it in that, in that promo, just the dress and the pants in that same bag, you may go get the bag and the shoes and the dress and all of it at the same time, but you may throw a jacket or something over it. You may put on big earrings, hoop earrings with a cute hat. You may style it however you want to style it. But like that's how you style it out. But as far as so that's the difference. Like style is your own personality. Fashion is just like the trends and things that come out year round for you to know like what's in style.
So y'all got that? Cause I don't know what y'all be doing.
I say the same thing. Some people just be feeling like, they just be so fly, and sometimes it just looks like, how can I say, it don't give. It don't give.
Best way to say it.
That's the best way to say it. It don't give because it just be like, that's where I'm looking for. It came in my head, is be tacky. Like you can't be in fashion and be tacky. I hate when people have on so many different pieces and be like, oh, this fashion. Like no, like when you look at Rihanna and she put on her pieces hit. It may be a lot of pieces at one time, but they always hit. Yeah. But you can't put on the same thing that Rihanna put on and then try to, because that's not your style. So it's on you. It's gonna look tacky.
Listen, y'all.
Woo! Right?
Listen,
it's a lot.
Listen, and pushing the envelope, you definitely pushed the envelope. Season 4, Chasing Atlanta. You pushed it. Looking back at Chasing Atlanta first, before I get into it, and looking at you and your interactions with your cast members, is there anything that you would have changed or done differently?
I think. I always say this, and this is not being cliche, but no, I wouldn't be, only because I think that when you do have certain situations, because I've been on Chasing Atlanta since season 3, and then when I started out on season 3, I didn't really know what I was getting into, and I was just, if you watch season 3, you'll see how shy and timid I was, how laid back I was. Right. You'll see how laid back and shy and timid I was versus going into season 4. It was like, okay, like once I seen that, it was like, that's not you, but it's like now I know the people that's on the cast, I know some of the people, so it's like I'm able to be more personal with them and show that personality and not feel judged and not really care about what the people outside on the camera are gonna, like outside viewing me, are gonna think. But no, I wouldn't change anything, because I feel like every time you end up, every time you end up being or seeing yourself or doing something, you end up learning from it. And I always feel like every action is a part of your growth. So no, I wouldn't have changed anything.
Yes, because season 3 definitely was shy, like, okay, look, But season 4, listen, you came out, not came out like that, you came out, but personality-wise, and listen, you definitely showed that true friendship.
Yeah, definitely.
So, going into season 4, true friendship, you and Dominique, you and, everybody's name is going, glasses.
Oliver.
Yes, I was gonna say Olivia. Listen, shade, not trying, but yes, I see that. You were kind of in the middle, but you played it good.
Right.
I was like, you know what? That's a friend.
Right.
He was like, I don't want to be messy, but let's be honest.
Let's be honest, because I feel like when it came to, especially with all of them, from Oliver and Dominique to Oliver and Kendra, when with the fight and all that stuff, it's just like I never was considered being messy. I feel like as a friend, if you come to me telling me something about her, and she's gonna be telling you something about you, I'm gonna come and tell y'all what y'all saying and try to make the story make some kind of sense so that I can at least see where y'all are and what we can do to fix it. But what I will say what I learned from that situation is that, and you will see in season 5, because season 5 comes out very soon, March 23rd.
Yes.
I'm at 8:00 p.m. But you will see, on season 5 that I've learned to just stay out of the business instead of like. At the beginning, I kind of tapped into where it was like, okay, well, I'm about to do what I did last time, but it was like, no, step back, let everybody have their situations on their own. You can still be that friend, as long as nobody is jumping at a person, about to fight a person, about to do whatever, they ain't putting their hands on somebody, then okay, cool. But other than that, let everybody handle their situations individually because that really technically has nothing to do with you. And it took me to get into that fight on season 4 to realize like, dang, I got into a fight about something that's trying to defend somebody else that totally had nothing to do with me. And I think the only reason I was really upset because it was my birthday, but it was like being in therapy and being in, you know, like where I'm at in my life now and having my therapist. I've been in therapy since 2021, and it was just like, you know, it has really helped me like realize like, dang, you could really, if you would have just controlled your anger in that moment or control like how that situation made you feel, then yeah, you could have been mad about it that was your birthday, but you didn't have to, you didn't have to necessarily react that way. And so like, as you probably seen in the preview of Chasing Riley season 5, when I was like, you know, I'm the big dog, like when I was getting ready to, in that moment, literally we were in the house and it was drink on the table and I literally want to throw a drink right then. Like in that moment I want to throw another drink. But I said, you know what? And it's in the trailer, so I'm production don't get me because it's already out there. But in the trailer you'll see like when I say, you know, I throw this drink on this bitch and I wanted to throw the drink but I didn't. I didn't throw the drink. I said, you know what? I'm a fucking piss, I'm sorry. Yeah, but I was like, I'm gonna throw the drink and I was like, you know, but I'm glad I did and I actually walked out. And in that moment, me walking out was like a powerful moment for me because it was like, dang, I could have really reverted to what I did last year, but I didn't. I actually grew into a step. Although I argued, although I got loud, I didn't swing, I didn't do anything. I walked away. So
listen, you did it, and I'm so proud and I'm so glad to see, you know, the growth and everything with season 5. But going back to you know, therapy, like, you know, therapy is definitely getting better in the black community because you know, at first it was like, you going to therapy, like what's wrong with you?
You crazy?
Like,
you got something going on, right?
But now we are embracing it more.
Right.
Why do you think it's so important to continue to embrace therapy in the black community?
Because as African Americans and being black, growing up, your family, parents more specifically, tend to have an effect on you as you grow up in life. So just for instance, like when parents will tell you, like, for as a young male, you can't cry, you gotta be hard, you gotta and I just remember growing up, like my dad would say the same thing to me, like, stop being a water bag all the time. My mom would say the same thing. You stop being a water bag. You need to toughen up, crying and And it's just like, to where so many things were suppressed to where I would just cry to myself. And to where parents didn't know, like my mom and my dad never know. Like as a young child, I was just like, well, what if I didn't live no more? Like, what if I didn't want to be? What if I wasn't here no more? Because I can't even really be me. And I suppressed that for a long time. And that's what a lot of people don't know. And I ended up telling my mom this one day. We were on the phone, and it wasn't necessarily a heated argument, but it was just like me getting off my chest one day and like how I felt, and it just all spilled out. But I was letting her know, you know, I didn't really care for you and my dad at one point in my life. And also, the reason I ended up, you know, going to college, I applied to college off my own money from working for my auntie at the daycare. I applied to college off my own money. I didn't tell my parents I was going to college until a month before it was time to go.
Listen, we have so much in common.
Boom.
Listen, so get into, you know, what you got going on now, like the show with, you know, TAGDIDIT, and then
so right now with Talk Live Tuesdays, I'm actually getting ready to start back up my podcast, and I'm gonna start up in podcast style because I think that I was doing it as pretty much as just very much talk show, like sitting on the couch, but I had to realize, you know, the money is actually in podcasts, and 9 times out of 10, it's not necessarily doing about the money. But one of my friends, Dominique said to me, he said, Troy, you can really go further just doing podcasts. He was like, and not necessarily saying you won't go further doing just a regular show. He said, but podcasting is just so big. You got so many other platforms you can put it on. You can record it. You can still record it visually, and you can record it, on equipment and stuff, and then post it on like iTunes, Spotify, all that kind of stuff, and then still have it visually on YouTube. Which YouTube just came out to where they're gonna start providing newcomers with podcasts that do it visually with $50,000 like a year, and it can continue to grow depending on your your viewership.
That's what we doing.
Hello, period. So I was like, well, let me go back in, revamp, and find a studio, find all these things to do, Talk Live Tuesday and I just wanted to, like I said, I want to do it as a podcast. I want people, when people sit on the couch and they sit in a talk show, it make them want to kind of be reserved, and it's just like it's like I'm on the show, I'm giving y'all drinks of Hennessy and all this kind of stuff. It's just like literally, I was giving my people Hennessy in a champagne glass mixed with Red Bull, like we turning up. So it's just like, well, let me do podcasts, let me let you be open as free as you want to be on Talk Live Tuesday, because I want it to be a safe space for you to say what you want to say, how you feel, non-censored. And one day, if I do gotta be censored, because Wendy Williams wasn't censored. Wendy Williams,
not at all.
And she was the biggest woman on top on daytime TV. And I don't care what nobody say. Wendy Williams was the queen of daytime TV.
Yes.
I don't care if nobody likes her, what she said. Okay, but she is the queen of top, daytime TV. And so I was like, I may not be messy like Wendy Williams, but one day I do feel like I want to be that person that's on. If it's not daytime TV, it can be nighttime TV like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. And if it's not that, now people they're staying away from cable and they're going into streaming services. Right, so I'm like, if they can give me a 10 episode set on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, give me my guys, and we can do whatever we gotta do. But that's what I'm thinking about. So I'm thinking about the bigger picture, but I'm also learning to live in this moment that I have now, because we don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know that what I can do today.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, Tag Did It, Troy
Boom.
is doing everything. Listen, we always supporting you and we rooting for you. Chasing Atlanta is airing March the 20th.
Oh, let me talk about Chasing Atlanta real quick. I forgot just that fast. Before we exit out now, I will say this, just to give you some insight on Chasing Atlanta. And I'm getting chills just sitting. You see him.
Yes.
I'm amazed by what we put together this season. And people always ask, is it scripted? Is this something that y'all just do, or that they tell y'all what to do? No. We have to put in the scene. We have to actually have the work to do. Like, we have to say, okay, well, I'm doing this interview today, or I'm doing this red carpet tomorrow. I need y'all to come film. Or me and Dominique want to sit down and have a chat. Or talk about what just happened at the event. We have to literally send it in. When it says Chasing Reality, this is your #1 non-scripted LGBTQ show, because it's not scripted at all. But this is the best season so far, and I tell you, when it comes out, everything that is talked about, everything that is done, from the work ethic to the friendships torn down to the friendships rebuilt to, I can't really say what we just did recently, but because they haven't put it out yet, but it's literally the best season that you're gonna see. And I think that this season will literally show all the viewers, all the people, that it's not just necessarily about the drama. It's about the work ethic. We can have the drama, you can have the fights, you can have that, but it's about work ethic in the LGBTQ community. It's about building those friendships, those bonds, and actually not necessarily holding on to that hurt and that trauma, because we all have so much that we're going through, and we're all so much as alike. So it's definitely one for the books. And I will say, everybody may not have been on one accord or may not be on one accord, but I will give everyone their props this year, that everyone worked their ass off to make this show possible. And so just to give a shout out real quick to production, to the Chasing Reality brand, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't necessarily be able to be where we are. Johneri'O may not necessarily want to interview me, because I feel like Chasing Reality has really brought me into that person and made me feel like you can really be somebody. And Chasing Reality has really pushed me, because outside of the show, I knew there were things I wanted to do, but I didn't necessarily know how to do it. But being around a bunch of other creators and queer creators at that, it was just like, oh, well, you know how to do this? Well, let me see how you do this, and I can probably do it too. And that's what has pushed me. So I feel like since 2018, I've been on Chasing Reality since 2018, which is season 3. and then going into 2022 and being on season 5, it's just like, wow, Troy, you really have grown and you've done a lot, and you may have not shown a lot of people may not know the inside and the depths of your life, but however, you've dealt with and overcome so much adversity in this, you know, this whole thing in general. So it's just like, not only am I proud of everybody else, but I'm proud of me, because I could have stopped and quit a long time ago when I felt like I wasn't good enough for the show, when I felt like I didn't have enough going on like everybody else on the show. But I found my avenue. I did. I found my avenue, and I found what it is that I'm good at. And I said, okay, well, boom, we're gonna do it.
Boom. What would you tell the Troy in 2018 that first got on there, that was, like you said, timid and everything? What would you tell him?
I would tell him to not be scared of being yourself. Don't worry about what other people may think of you, because either they're gonna fall in line or they're gonna get left behind. And so keep pushing, keep going, and keep going, because you don't know what's at the end of the tunnel. You don't know what's out there for you. So
listen, again, Tag did it. Boom!
Yeah.
Listen, so I have a game, and it's called Tag, You're It.
Okay.
Alright? So what you have to do is, I'm gonna give you a scenario, and I wanna know, like, what would Tag do?
Okay.
Alright.
Let's do it.
Let's get in there.
I love the name of the game.
Tag, You're It.
You're it.
Alright, so if you were king of the world and could make any rule, what would it be?
What would it be? If I could make any rule in the world. Oh, that's a hard one.
King Tag.
Being King Tag, I would probably make it to where niggas can't cheat.
Oh!
Boom! Boom! Okay, niggas can't cheat, because from women to just being in my community too, like our community, niggas ain't shit.
They going to jail if they cheat.
They going to jail. They get
and
locked
we throwing
up.
the key away.
Like, baby, you gotta go, because when I tell you, I've been in some just situations of relationships, and hell, I probably had been locked up one time because they ain't nothing to talk about right now. But
I was cousin nigga.
But it's just like, I think that, people, niggas just do what they want to do sometimes. It's like, no, like, you can't be doing what you want to do when you with me.
Stop being in the moment.
Okay, listen, temptation comes and temptation goes, and you can't be dealing with that temptation, Forgive us, Lord, forgive us for our trespasses. Forgive us for our trespasses.
Okay. So, that's what he was doing. He was king. Alright. What would be your ideal last meal? What's on the menu?
Oh, my ideal last meal. I need a seafood bowl. And I'm from, that's the Florida in me. I need a seafood bowl, and I need it laid out across the table like what's her name? B. Scott. I need the crab legs, the lobster tail, the eggs, the sausage, the shrimp. I need the oysters over here, and I need the oysters with a little Parmesan on top and a little hot sauce so that I can, but I need all that. Yeah, all that. Well done.
Well done, please.
But let me tell you, I need a whole seafood bowl laid out for me, because if I could be in my hospital bed by the over, but I'm gonna be breaking them crab legs, pulling that crab meat out, and eating that crab all in one.
Seafood boil.
All bad bitch eat seafood.
ASAP.
Okay,
ASAP. Alright, what would be your superpower?
If I could choose superpower, I'll be invisible.
Okay. You gotta let me know why.
I'll be invisible because I don't know, and people always say, like, you always want to know what other people are doing or what other people got to say, but I always say, like, if I could be a fly on the wall in certain situations, like, that is literally, like, my life.
You don't know I'm here.
Like, you don't even know I'm here, so if I could be able to fly on the wall in certain things to see what certain people do or what certain people say, like, my best friend, I could just only imagine, like, when we used to live together, what he used to do in the house and I wasn't there, and I always be like, girl, I could just be a fly on the wall, because I know what I be doing when you not here, and I know how I gyrate and twerk up. I be in the house on the sofa.
Scrub the ground, scrub the ground, scrub the ground.
Hello, I used to be in the house with the music playing, with my hookah going, standing on the couch. Mind you, at my age that I'm at now, standing on the couch like I'm in a section in the club, having a ball of my life with my drink or whatever. But I would literally be invisible just to see like what other people are doing at certain times of their life, literally.
Okay. If you could be any character from any movie, what would be the movie and what would be the character?
I would be Mike Lowry from Bad Boys 2.
Oh,
because I love me some Will Smith and I love me some Bad Boys. Bad Boys, people, when I tell people this, they be like, Are you like gay for real? Like you, cause you watch, you think of some of the boyish things. I would literally, cause let me tell y'all, growing up, my mama always be like, you used to say you was gonna be a police officer, da da da. Glad I didn't become a police officer. But however, if I had to be a character, I would literally be Mike Lowry from Bad Boys, because that's like my favorite movie, and just the action and everything, that just what he possessed. Like, he was sexy. He was, he was a jock, but he also didn't mind cussing a bitch out. He didn't mind having his gun out and let you know, like, I will shoot you if you.
You know what kind of dudes he like?
I like. They don't necessarily gotta be a thug, but listen, the boy that I'm dating right now, he's literally like, he's not a jock, but he's very much like cocky. He's very fly. He's sexy. He's tall, like Mike Lowry. Maybe that is what I like. He's tall like Mike Lowry. He got his gun in his little bag. He gonna carry his bag, but he got his gun in his bag. And listen, and I always tell him, little what Nikki said in her new song, my new nigga ain't with that chit chat.
My new nigga ain't with that chit chat.
Hey.
He's not with that chit chat at all, and that's on period.
Okay, okay, we on. Hey, if you were trapped on a desert island and could only bring 3 things, what would it be?
My man.
Come on, babe. Come on.
My man. Oh my goodness. A fishing rod, because I need the fish, because I'm gonna need to eat something.
Seafood.
The seafood. The sea is out there. I need that. And well, do this island got like tents and stuff? I gotta survive myself. We're gonna say they got tents and stuff. Okay. And I'm gonna bring a speaker, because I cannot live without music.
Okay. Well, you gonna get your food.
Yeah.
You got your man, because it's just y'all. That's a honeymoon kind of vibe.
And some music, because listen, when I tell y'all, music literally rules my life. Like, literally, I could be in a mood, I could be sad, down, and I could turn on my favorite song, and it's like everything just go away. So like, music is, I tell music is a frequency, and it can, change your energy. So I definitely gotta have some music with me.
Hey, well, listen, Tag, you're it. So you guys, that was.
I like that. That was cute.
Let me think about it. Listen, man, Troy, thank you so much for coming on, for being my guest. Yo, it definitely was a vibe.
Yes.
And we're gonna have to do this again.
Definitely.
Let everybody know how they can stay tuned to everything that you have coming up.
Okay, so listen, let me get into my judge real quick.
Right there.
What's up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy TAGDIDIT, and let me let y'all know where y'all can follow me. Y'all can keep up with me on Instagram at TAGDIDIT. You can follow me on Twitter at TAGDIDIT. Follow me on TikTok at TAGDIDIT, and also you can follow me on YouTube at The Boom Network. Make sure you guys tune in and follow Chasing Reality on YouTube as well, and follow Chasing Reality on Instagram at chasing.rlty. That is chasing.rlty. Listen, season 5 is on the way, March 23rd, coming out at 8 p.m. and you don't not want to miss it. Make sure you're there on time. Make sure you're waiting in the queue, because just know that Tag did it, and boom.
Boom!
Yeah.
Bro! Drop the
bomb!
Listen, I want to say thank you again.
Woo! Jeanette. Oh! Is this a little chef head nine?
This is a little something.
I love your little chef nine. A little chef.
Hey, yo, we are out. Johneri'O Scott, Troy, aka TAGDIDIT.
Boom!
Y'all, make sure you go ahead, subscribe to my channel, like everything, and don't forget to hit that notification.
Do not forget to hit the notification, like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all already know.
And Tag said it.
Boom. Boom.